Hello everyone, welcome. So the purpose of today's video is to share with my fellow therapists potential ways to facilitate grounding exercises with clients. We often hear about grounding in therapy, but in school training programs, grounding is rarely to never actually taught in a felt sense experiential type of way for therapists. So the purpose of today's videos is to go through what it might be like to facilitate grounding exercises for a client. So first of all, when might you want to do grounding with a client? So I often think of grounding as exercises to move through with clients when clients are having some type of activation, trauma activation, flashbacks, triggers of past events or past memories. I want to differentiate that grounding is very different than meditation. So we're not doing meditation, we're not doing relaxation with clients. We're not trying to encourage clients to empty their minds. In fact, that type of facilitation for clients in the moments of having a trauma experience or a trauma activation could actually encourage clients to become flooded with more traumatic memories. So the idea of grounding is, how do we support clients in coming back into the present moment? When clients are in some type of traumatic activation, often what's happening is that they've moved out of their cognitive thinking brain, so they're no longer functioning with their frontal cortex, their prefrontal cortex, but rather their middle brain, so the limbic system, the fight or flight system, the emotional brain, that's often the amygdala and the hippocampus, are taking over in those moments. So it's often thought that Broca's area, which is an area in the frontal cortex of the brain, responsible for speech and language and the formation of speech, actually goes offline when clients are having types of flashbacks or traumatic activations. So because this is the case, trying to encourage clients to work through emotions or to talk further can actually be more detrimental for clients in the moment. So again, these are ways to guide clients to come back into the present moment. I often like to stay away from using directive cues or body focus cues, especially for clients who have felt experiences of trauma in their bodies. So I prefer using language that is more invitational than directive. So that might be saying things like, what would it be like to try this? Perhaps for a moment we engage with this. What are you noticing if you attempt this? So we'll move through that as we move through the practices, rather than language that is, I need you to do this, I want you to do this. So always invitational, always language that centers a client's agency and dignity. So the first style of grounding practices I'm thinking of are for when clients may be dissociating or going into a freeze state in your office. So when this happens, clients may appear either zoned out, they may describe a sense of numbness. You may also not even know that this is happening for a client, but you may start to notice clients' gaze wandering. So in these moments when a client is dissociating, I often think this is our body's way of protecting us, finding an escape from a memory or an activation or a flashback that becomes too overwhelming. So in a way, the nervous system is responding as if we are in danger in the present moment, even when we are safe. So when clients are dissociating, I'm thinking of grounding practices that are a little more stimulating, that are going to perhaps help us to move again out of that more limbic system part of the brain back into the frontal cortex, the prefrontal cortex. So I often like to start with an orienting style of practice, and that may be having the clients, so guiding the clients to begin to start looking around the room. So again, with invitational language, What would it be like to begin to gaze your eyes around the room, always facilitating the clients to keep their eyes open rather than closed. So as you begin to turn your eyes around the room, perhaps noticing all of the sources of light, the windows, the doors, the exits. So you can either cue clients to begin to vocalize out loud what they are noticing, or if a client may benefit from a more structured approach, you can begin with structured orienting with, let's name 5 things that you notice that are the color red around the room. And then perhaps tuning into 4 sounds that you can hear. Okay, so guiding clients to begin to come back into this present moment. And you can go through a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 practice, tuning into all of the senses with clients. Again, we're trying to encourage the body and the brain to come back into this cognitive thinking, to become back online. Second style of grounding that I often like to do with clients who may be dissociating would be something to really activate the senses. So that may be something like a scent, a strong scent. I like to have coffee beans close by. So allowing clients to really activate senses by smelling the coffee beans. Essential oils are also really good for that. So it's always a nice idea, I think, to have essential oils in your office. And if clients, again, are either vocalizing or you're noticing that they may be dissociating, or moving out of this present awareness state, essential oils can be another way to help to ground back into the present. Other things, if you have access to ice or cold water, would be some kind of like ice or cold water plunge, so clients can hold their hands into freezing ice water, and possibility to even guide their sensations here. So as you place your hand in the water, what kind of sensations are you noticing on your skin? What kind of sensations are you noticing drawing up your arm towards your elbow? Right, so allowing clients to vocalize or put into words what they're noticing in that moment. The third style of grounding that I think we could perhaps use with clients who are dissociating, maybe some type of external touch. So again, crystals are a really nice way to do this that have some kind of edges on it, and allowing clients to take their time to really notice the tactile sensation of the objects that we might call grounding objects. Clients may bring these with them, but otherwise, if they don't, it's always nice to have some type of object in your space. And again, invitational language, what do you notice? Perhaps we can hold this stone in our hands. What would it be like to squeeze your palm around the rock or the crystal? What would it be like to extend your arm out, reaching away with the object? So just guiding the client to, become more aware of how their body, their nervous system is in this present moment. And the fourth style of grounding that I think we could perhaps use would be more of a present moment orienting. And that may be guiding clients to remember who they are in this moment with factual cues, such as my name is Carla, I'm 40 years old, I am currently in the midst of a Master's of Psychotherapy training program, I'm at the University of Guelph, I have these people in my family, I'm currently excelling in this particular sport, I have these skills right now that I haven't had in the past. So allowing clients to recall who they are in this moment and what they have in terms of coping mechanisms in this particular moment. An additional practice that we may be able to engage clients with who may be dissociating or in a freeze-like state maybe a tapping practice. And so this would be more of a body-based practice. And you may engage with clients if clients have had a lot of trauma in their body. This may not be the practice to start with. Clients who may be drawn to more body-based style of practices. If a client is dissociating, even just a simple arms across their chest and then beginning to make contact. So one palm from the shoulder down to the elbow. And again, I would guide clients here with invitational language. So what's it like to draw your arms across your chest and then begin to tap left and right? What's it like to allow the tapping to become a little faster, a little more firm? And then perhaps exploring what it might be like to slow down the rhythm and the pace of the tapping. If this is working for you in your body, there's also an opportunity to take one palm and then tap all the way down your arm, from your shoulder to your elbow, and your elbow to your wrist, and then crossing over the body to do the same thing. Studies show that facilitating a rhythmic tapping motion for at least 60 seconds in the body is like communicating with our nervous system to begin to find a state of balance again. So when we are thinking about grounding exercises for clients who are in more of a fight or flight state, we're thinking about nervous systems that are in a state of hyperarousal. So we're looking for ways to help the clients move back into this window of tolerance. Again, as a protective mechanism, clients' bodies and nervous systems may be responding as if they are in danger in this moment, when in fact they may be physically safe in your office, or we hope that they are physically safe in your office, but something about the environment or the conversation has cued the client that they are in danger in this moment. So if a client is in a fight or flight state, I'm thinking about grounding exercises that are calming, that are soothing, that are going to help a client come back into this present moment. So I'm staying away from things like heavy scents, the hyperstimulation with ice bath or plunges, with essential oils, with the coffee beans, anything that could induce a further state of hyperarousal or panic in clients. I think when clients are in this state as therapists, one of the most important things is really how we are navigating our own body and our own breath. So how can we be in a space where we allow our body shape and size and posture in that moment to be as welcoming, as open as possible? How can we be using a tone of voice that is calm, that is rhythmic, that is soothing for clients in that moment? Right, and so we're looking for a way to almost mirror for clients a space where clients can engage in co-regulation. So using our nervous systems to support a client's capacity to come back into this space. So again, I would perhaps start with an orienting style practice, and with invitational language that may look like, what would it be like to just begin to sway left and right, side to side? Palms can be together in your lap, or perhaps your palms are face down on your knees. And what's it like to begin to gaze your eyes around the room into this space where we are? Perhaps noticing the sources of light, the windows and the doors. Is there an object in the room that you can associate with a sense of calmness? Perhaps we have fuzzy blankets or weighted blankets. Even this soothing rocking motion can be calming for clients. Can also be guiding clients to wrap their arms around themselves. So creating a sense of almost like a weighted blanket with arms against their heart. This is where I do like to engage a havening style of practice or self-havening with clients. And again, you knowing your clients best may know if some kind of body-based touch is appropriate for your particular client or not. So if clients have experienced body-based trauma in the past, this may not be the practice that you're going to start with. Havening practices might look like, so guiding clients to take their palms. So what does it like to just cross your palms across your chest? And then with your palms on your shoulders, what's it like to begin to draw your arms from your shoulders to your elbows? Choosing the pace and the rhythm that feels right to you in this moment. And perhaps exploring or playing around with different firmness or softness of connection between your palms and your arms. And then perhaps moving from your elbows to your wrists. So you begin to draw your hands across your wrists and your palms. Some clients who are in fight or flight mode may respond well to certain types of music, and perhaps a music of their choosing. They may know already what type of music might work for them, but a slow rhythmic heartbeat type music, so a slow rhythmic drumming beat, may be appropriate for some clients. I never like to guide breathing practices alone, although there's a lot of focus in some style of therapy on breathing and guiding clients through breathing. I often find that breathing in itself can create more of a sense of panic in clients, especially with the cues of take a deep breath. So often when clients take a deep breath, they draw air in, and it's almost a sense of like, that can be a reminder of panic or a reminder of receiving bad news. So if I were to cue any type of breathing, I'm often doing it with movement as well. So that may look like this. So what would it be like to just extend your arms out and then draw your arms forward? Perhaps we can try that again. What's it like to extend your arms out and then draw your arms forward? Maybe we're reaching our arms up. What's it like to begin to extend, feeling a little bit of lengthening through your spine or through your side ribs? And what's it like to draw your arms down for 3, 2, and 1? You may find that clients respond immediately to some of these cues, or you may find that these are practices that are helpful to keep coming back to at various points in the session. I hope these practices have been supportive as a grounding 101 for therapists in working with clients to help clients come back into this present moment and into this present space when any type of activation occurs in their body. Thank you.